Shall we start, Piggy?
Yes, I think we should.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's start. So, good morning, guys. Thank you for joining the call. I see there's people joining also. So again, we have another week. We've been invited for the training session, a new marketplace. It's PC Components, in Spanish, PC Componentes, but we just say it in English. Okay, they've been 8 years selling in Spain. Okay. They've been growingly, their main focus is on consumer electronics, okay? And not because I'm Spanish and I have a good preference about this marketplace, is because they've been really becoming an alternative to Amazon when it comes to consumer electronics. They focus on the full consumer electronics range. And also what they're trying is to really have the best prices and offer the best prices for consumer electronics into the Spanish market, okay? They're currently selling in Spain, and also there are people buying it from Portugal. You know, Spain, Portugal, they are closed. So today we have with us David Morales, and he's running all the e-commerce the commerce department within PC Components, and he's going to just help us to understand how to trade into the marketplace, how does it work, and also how you can recommend to all your sellers to start selling in Spain. We've seen a lot of inbound of sellers coming for other marketplaces into the Spanish market. And I think that PC Components is a really good marketplace for you guys to have in your radar and start driving sellers, not only for Asia, also for EMEA. Okay. So David, thank you for joining and for having time for this training. And yeah, I hand it over to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Tristan. Thank you everyone for joining. I think we have around 20 minutes, so I'm gonna try to be fast. And at the end of the presentation, if you guys have any questions, just feel free. Okay. I think that you can see my presentation, right? Yeah, I assume you can. So
Yes,
this is pretty, yeah, thank you. This is pretty much the agenda, but let me introduce the marketplace. Actually, like Tristan said, we are basically the leader in Spain in the vertical of electronic devices and yeah, technology. This is a timeline of our growth in the last 10 years. This year we suppose, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know to say thank you to the COVID or thanks to the COVID, unfortunately, because of the COVID, but we have around 70% growth compared to the last year. So we're going to end the year with around almost 700 million euros of revenues. And the website, we have 14 million unique visitors per month. Currently, we have around 200 sellers online selling on our marketplace. We have a catalog of 65K products today and around 2 million followers on social media. So PC Components, it's not just a website, it's not just an e-store, it's a brand, and it's a brand that Spanish people really like. They know it and they appreciate it, especially because of the service that we give to our customers. Okay. So our target, our public is mainly men, young people. We are a young brand, and we are, like I said, very followed brand on social media with a high engagement rate, and people really like the brand. So we don't have actually customers, but fans. Our main categories, like Tristan said, and like our name basically says, is computers and laptops. We are the strongest and the biggest e-commerce in Spain in terms of share of selling laptops. So we sell 27% of the laptops sold on internet in Spain are sold by PC Components, by us. Peripherals, TV and audio, smartphones, smart home, tablets, and now we are trying to develop new categories like cooking, electronic appliance, sport, and other new categories that we try related to the technology, but we are trying to open new categories in order to increase our revenues. So in terms of seller requirements, we ask for our sellers to have a bank account in Europe. I guess that's not a problem, thanks to WorldFirst. The company must be registered in the European Union. The seller must have a Spanish VAT number, because they have actually, we demand our sellers to provide Spanish VAT invoices. So in Spain it's 21%, and Portugal is 23%. If tomorrow any seller is going to sell on Portugal, they have to provide the national VAT rate in the invoices for our final customers. Return address in Spain. Basically, we don't want our customers to send an item back to another country and pay for it. You know, if I buy, I don't know, a cable or wherever, a mouse for the computer, and the customer has to send it back because finally he doesn't want it anymore. We don't want him to pay, I don't know, 15 euros or something like that. So if the seller is providing a prepaid label, is fine. So if the return condition is for free, is fine. The return address can be anywhere. However, if the customer has to pay for the return, we need a return address in Spain. I mean, in the country that actually the product is sold. Eventually Portugal, if any seller is selling on Portugal as well. 5 days delivery maximum. Categories you can see, and you can check our website out, so and you can find all the categories that we're selling. If eventually one day you find out, I don't know, a seller that might fit with our, you know, families or similar, and the category doesn't exist on the website, we might create it. Okay, so you can just send an email and ask for a new creation, new category creation, and we will think about it, and if it's interesting, we can create it and open a new one. Okay, but you can see on the website all the categories and families that we're selling currently, and then the customer service for sure has to be in Spanish. Okay, so the relationship between the customer and the seller is managed by the seller, and this relationship, these messages have to be done in Spanish or Portuguese if the seller is selling on Portugal. Because just to be clear, we're opening our Portuguese marketplace. Yep. Okay. Next year, Q1 of 2021, we opening the marketplace to Portugal. In terms of quality criteria, these are the main ones. So you can see seller reviews. So it has to be higher than 4.2. As you can see, we are very demanding in terms of quality of the service. And if the seller doesn't respect this quality requirements or criteria, we have the right to deactivate the account. Okay, so the seller review is 4.2, instant rate, 15% maximum, acceptance time less than 24 hours, acceptance rate at least 97%, automatic cancellations, just one order has to be can be automatically cancelled, refund rate 12%, and response time, we have to respond or reply to our customers in at least 24 hours. The onboarding and compliance, this is duplicate, sorry. Basically, the compliance requirement are the same that I just said. And the registration, you guys can send this link to the sellers, because this is just a landing page only for sellers coming from WorldFirst. Okay, it's in English. It's sent with a tag to one of the guy from my team that is going to manage these registrations or requests. So that's going to be prefer to use this link if you guys want to get an answer in less than 24 hours. Okay. In terms of integration and operations, we are using a marketplace platform. We are Miracle marketplace. I don't know if you guys are selling on all the marketplace from Miracle, but I don't know, in Spain, for example, El Corte Inglés is one of them, Carrefour, Tienda Animal, and many others. Okay, I think that Wharton is using Miracle as well. I'm not sure. Decathlon in Belgium. Anyway, it's a very well-known platform and it's super user friendly. So integration is similar to any other Miracle marketplace, and they can be integrated manually if they have a small catalog. Just sending a CSV or hosting a CSV in an FTP through API if the seller has an IT team, or via some aggregator. We're working with Shopping Feed, BSAP, and some other aggregators. So you can just ask for the list. And if any of your sellers working with an aggregator that we are not working with, let me know. We will try to open a discussion with them. So what's the privilege of coming from WordFirst to be integrated on the marketplace of PC Componentes? Every seller will get 3 months of subscription for free, so they can test just the platform. Afterwards, it's 39.99 euros per month. A dedicated account manager, so we are a very human company, and we assign an account manager to every seller coming from WordFirst. Direct contact, no robot, no bots, nothing, just a human account manager. Dedicated support during onboarding process, the same. An IT guy, a technical guy is going to, accompany to the seller and follow up all the process and just give support if needed. Privileged support and communications. So we have a lot of sellers, but if the seller is coming from WordFirst, they're gonna receive all the communications in English, direct communication, not just getting lost in newsletters or wherever. So we're gonna assure that this communication are received by the sellers, and access to special campaign landing pages guaranteed, which is not the case today for all the sellers. But if you want to be in the Black Friday, for example, landing page, which has, I don't know, maybe just 1,000 products, we guarantee for WordFirst sellers. Okay. So yeah, I think it's been 17 minutes or 15 minutes of presentation. It's time for questions, guys, if you have any of them. I think that Vicky has the commercial presentation with the commission grid, with all the conditions, with more extended information about us. And I don't want it to be boring in the presentation. So guys, I don't know if it's more or less clear, or if you have any questions.
Thank you, David.
Sure.
Theo, do you have a question?
Always. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, David. Really good. Prezzo, super aligned with what we do, and we've got a lot of sellers of consumer electronics who are keen to branch out of Amazon. So there's a very immediate and obvious relationship we can have here. Your requirement to be EU registered, though, obviously we've got a massive bulk of sellers in China, which is problematic because obviously that's very far from the EU. They do have fiscal representation in Europe, so a VAT number. What flexibility is there? Because that's sort of shutting a door to an incredible pool of sellers potentially.
It's actually a requirement because of ADN. It's a PSP. So we have this KYC process, and yeah, it's, to be honest, 100% honest, I don't know. I'm not able to give you a precise data about it. So because when we receive, I don't know, just a request from a Chinese company registering in China, we try with ADN, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. It's about the legal department from ADN that is supposed to validate all this documentation. if we have a bank account in Europe, the registration number of the company has to be in Europe. That's what they say. If we have a VAT number in Europe, a bank account in Europe, we might try, but they cannot give you an answer now. So I think that it's worth to give it a try. And if it doesn't work, if they don't validate it, we can ask them why. Because it's all about the legal department from ADN that is legally responsible of validating the KYC process, all documents and so on. So it's a good question, but we have to check it out with them.
Okay, well let's definitely do that. Maybe collectively, sort of.
Sure. If you have eventually, I don't know, a couple of sellers interested, I don't know, just many of them, let's give it a try and let's get the feedback from ADN and try, just to find out the way to onboard them.
Cool. Okay. I've just bought an amazing robot Hoover from China, and it'd be a shame if your Spanish customers couldn't benefit from this robot Hoover themselves. So, and obviously the UK, 52% of the people who voted in our referendum, unfortunately, decided to leave the EU. So there's a question mark there, but I would imagine that our sort of Brexit deal that we broker will hopefully allow that, but it's one to keep an eye on as well. What about Linnworks? Is Linnworks something sort of familiar to you as an integrator? Do you have an integration with Linnworks Channel Advisor, or is that something we need to look at as well?
Yep. Linnworks and Channel Advisor, I know them very well, but we are not today working with them on PC Componentes. It's in my agenda to contact them and try to get an integration done. That's not going to be easy, but if we have a few sellers interested in joining PC Componentes marketplace, it might help to do the job. But yeah, it's definitely on my to-do list. But today we are not connected to Linnworks or Channel Advisor.
Okay, that's fine. It's just good to know who we should be approaching as a priority for like a quick referral onto your platform. So that's a good one just to flag. All right, that's it for me. I'll let some other people ask questions if there are any.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Theo. Do we have more questions?
Yeah, hi David, thanks for the presentation. I was just interested, you mentioned obviously you've got about 200 sellers at the moment. What's the sort of percentage between domestic Spanish sellers and international sellers?
Spanish sellers represent around 90% of the catalog today. So it's maybe 170 sellers, Spanish sellers, and 30 international sellers.
Okay, and are they mostly sort of EU based as well, or whereabouts the other sellers coming from?
Yeah, no, actually, our marketplace is quite young, and we've been focused on contacting the Spanish sellers, the national ones, because they are like more, easy maybe to get onboarded because of translations, descriptions, logistic and so on. But I'd say that the Spanish market today is done. We have all the sellers that we should have on the marketplace, and now the focus is going to be international. So trying to get best international brands and sellers for PC Componentes. We have a few from Portugal, a few, I'd say just 4 or 5 from Europe. So I'm sure there is a massive potential out there that we haven't even tried to get on board in yet.
Yeah, sure. I think it sounds like a good opportunity really for international sellers to get involved in that market, because I think 600 mil turnover that you mentioned there from 200 sellers is sounds like a pretty decent opportunity.
Sorry to interrupt. When I say we're making 660 million euros, it's not only marketplace, it's a whole website, and we sell, like Amazon does, products sold and shipped by us. So it's a whole website, about all the products that makes and and it's PC Componentes and the marketplace.
Right.
That's interesting. What's the composition of your in-house sales versus marketplace
Yeah,
sales?
at the 2020, taking in account that our marketplace has only 2 years of life, we closing this year with 62 million euros of revenues, only marketplace, and it's 2,000% of growth, and expecting 900% of growth of the marketplace next year. So
That
the
sounds pretty
objective,
healthy.
yeah, it's actually crazy, and it's part of it because of the COVID, but it's because, you know, our marketplace is so young. So last year we launched it in 2019, and it's, I mean, growth, you know, percentage is it's huge because of that. But we are making 10% of the revenues today, and 25% is supposed to be done next year. You know, so and the objective is getting 50-50 in 4 years.
Excellent. Do you have any categories which outperform others? Like, obviously, you call PC components.
Yep.
Pardon the English. Is that what people gravitate towards your platform for, or do they actually go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, we're trying to launch new categories, but that takes more time, you know, to get people used to it and to let them know that they can, I don't know, buy a fridge on our website, or I don't know, just electronic toys or wherever. So our main categories for sure: PCs and laptops, TVs, hi-fi, and that kind of products. Like I said, laptops, it's just something crazy. We selling around, I don't know, 5,000 laptops a day. And yeah, but I would like to develop new categories as well, but that's for sure. For example, smartphones, it's a category that is very well searched, but we are not super competitive in marketplace on pricing, you know. So it's a core category for us, but I think that we can be more competitive in pricing. And I think, for example, that sport, it's a new category that we are developing, and with all this COVID thing and you know, the lockdown and so on, we see a massive growth in terms of, you know, static cycling, bicycles and stuff like that. So I think it's something that they can, you know, perform very well in the next year. I mean, this month.
Okay, great. I think we can use that to target our referrals quite effectively. Thanks for the info.
It's important to have in mind also that the sellers are competing with PC Componentes products, like they do with Amazon products, and we are very strong in those categories. So they have to be super competitive in terms of pricing to win the buy box. But if they are smart and we are smart and find the good categories that we are not strong as PC Componentes, but that is really demand by the customers, there's a massive potential there, I think.
Great. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, David, one question from my end. You already mentioned it, but is it sort of a similar mechanism as Amazon, whereby for each product you have a buy box, and then there's a sort of an algorithm from PC Components which decides who the purchase goes to? Is that the exact same mechanism?
Yep, actually the algorithm of the buy box is very simple, as price, which is the price of the product, and the shipping cost together. I think that's 75%. Then the delivery time, I think it's 10%, and then the seller reviews, you know, the stars. That's what actually takes the winner of the buy box.
Okay, I see. And then you mentioned seller reviews as well. I mean, on Amazon, it's quite well known that maybe 75 to 90% of the reviews are all sort of fake, essentially. Do you think is that an issue on PC Components, or
you said fake?
Prevalent? Yeah, as in like, yeah essentially, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely not the case here.
Okay.
100% of the seller reviews. We control the seller reviews on Miracle. We monitor them, and all of them are real. So yeah, absolutely not. It's very well controlled.
Yep. Okay.
Basically, just to be to be super clear, a customer cannot give a score or review a seller if he hasn't made an order on PC Components.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yep. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
And David, for our Asian sellers, would you mind to explain a little bit about your logistic requirement?
Yeah, so we don't have a fulfillment service. We don't have an FBA like Amazon has. So all the logistic has to be managed by the seller, and it's very simple. 5 days maximum of delivery time. For winning the buy box, it's important if you have a quick delivery time, 24, 48 hours. That's important for winning the buy box if you're competing with other sellers. But in terms of quality criteria, it's 5 days maximum, so you can working days, okay, and then providing a tracking link. So that's pretty much it. If you're working with a carrier, I don't mind which one of it is. We are going to follow up for sure all the quality, scoring, and if the orders are delayed or not. But the seller has the right to select the carrier that he wants, just providing a tracking link. It's fine for us.
So the goods, are they required to ship from Europe? Or
if you are shipping from China and you are able to deliver in 5 days, that's fine for me.
okay.
As long as there is a tracking link that the customer can follow his order.
Okay. Do you require any local return address?
Yep. So like I mentioned, we don't want our customers to send an item back to another country because it's expensive and the customer experience is not good in that case. So either the seller provide a free return, and we don't mind where the return address is, but if the return is payable for the customer, the return address has to be in Spain. Does it make sense?
Yes, definitely. Do you have more questions, team?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a question regarding on the clients that we recommend on this platform. Do you have any preference as of maybe the categories they are selling, or do you have a preference, or we can for our recommendation of our sellers, or we can recommend our sellers as long as they sell on other platforms? Yeah.
Yeah, you can recommend any seller, and we are accepting any seller if the products are good quality, good images, good everything. So that's fine. As long as the category is in the website, I can tell you we're gonna integrate the seller. However, priority or the revenues or the performance of the seller is gonna to be different depending on the categories that you're gonna sell. If you are integrating, I don't know, a very competitive category, sharing products with, I don't know, or the 25 sellers, because we have, I don't know, smartphones, for example, an iPhone is sold by, I don't know, 30 sellers maybe. So that's going to be more difficult if if your seller is not competitive, on those categories. But we accept any categories that is on a website. Like I said before, if you have a category, a few categories that you believe that can perform well on PC Componentes, and we don't have today on the taxonomy, you can just propose it as well, and we're going to we're going to analyze it, so we eventually can open new categories if they are interested. And yeah, but knowing that the best categories for us in terms of performance are the ones, like I said, and like I sent to Vicky, PCs, laptops, PC components, you know, TV, audio, etc. Just to give you an idea of the size of the company, I don't know if you guys know MediaMarkt or FNAC, Phone House. Those are marketplaces selling as well in Spain. We are bigger than them, and we are the biggest one in electronic in Spain. No doubt about it. And we are the 5th biggest marketplace from Miracle in Europe, and with a massive growth, like I said. So I think there is a huge potential. And yeah, so opening new categories. Today we're selling basically everything, and we've seen it in the Black Friday. Yeah, it's just crazy. Something crazy what's happening now.
Great, thanks. So yeah, it seems like a good opportunity for international sellers, as there are not so many overseas sellers on your platform, right?
Yeah, there are no international sellers, and I think it's a good opportunity for the sellers that want to open the Spanish market and they don't know, or either they're still selling on Amazon Spain or other marketplaces and they want to open a new channel. And for sure, the sellers that want to investigate and give it a try to the Spanish market. I can tell you for sure, Amazon is the biggest one. You have AliExpress, and then you have PC components.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Can I just ask, sorry, David, what is the kind of turnaround time like if prospective sellers meet all of the requirements to be selling on PC Componentes? When can they expect, or how long generally is the onboarding process for them to be selling?
Sure. Usually it takes just a couple of days, and then it depends on the quality of the catalog. So if the catalog that the seller is onboarding, it's selling, we have it online, and it's just an EAN connection match. We don't have to create product pages. It's just one day maybe from let's say 1 day for validating the request, 1 day for sending the documentation to ADN. Let's give them a couple of days to ADN just to validate the documentation, and 1 more day so let's say 1 week to get them online. If we have to create the product pages because they are integrating products that we don't have on the website today, that takes around 100 products a day, approximately. So depending on the size of the catalog.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Sure. And just one more thing about that. I'm just thinking of it. It's super important, the quality of the catalog. I mean, if the seller give us good quality, I mean, descriptions in Spanish, images, only for the sellers that have to create products, okay? If you onboard a seller that is selling iPhones or LG TVs, we have it. So no problem at all. But new products that we don't have on the website, we need the right information from the seller, Spanish descriptions, Spanish name. They have to fit the quality, the guidelines, quality guidelines of the product pages. So good images and good everything, information, attributes and values and everything. So the better it is, the quickest the process is. Okay, if we have to modify the images because the quality is not good and so on, that's going to take much more time, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we can take one more questions if you have. All right. If there's no question, then thank you, David. What I would do is I will share this training material and the presentation, as well as some high-level summary of the platform to our group here. And then everyone can start referring sellers to you.
Fantastic.
Okay. All right. So thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Vicky, just let me know if you need anything, or we keep in touch. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Cheers,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Goodbye. Thank you.